This is ShadowQuant, Market Brief, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Tuesday, August 11, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Markets closed in a state of suspended animation today, defined by a stark disconnect between extreme fear in sentiment and suppressed volatility in the VIX. With geopolitical tensions keeping oil prices elevated and tech stocks lagging, the market is holding its breath for tomorrow's crucial inflation data.
Let's look at the numbers. The S&P 500 tracked by SPY closed at $73.03, down a negligible 0.03%. The Nasdaq 100 tracked by QQQ was the worst performer, finishing at $720.87, down 0.30%. The Dow Jones tracked by Diamonds settled at $538.99, down 0.12%. Small caps took the hardest hit, with the Russell 2000 tracked by IWM dropping 0.5% to $299.98.
Grid, you've got the snapshot. Cypher, what did the corporate filings and earnings tell us about this risk-off environment?
The corporate news flow was dominated by the crypto and energy mining sectors, which are facing significant headwinds. Core Scientific reported disappointing fourth-quarter results, sending shares lower. SharpLink reported a massive $394 million net loss in the second quarter, fueled by a decline in Ethereum. Keel shut down its U.S. Bitcoin mining operations as revenue fell 50%. Trump Media is set to revamp its crypto treasury strategy after a $238 million loss. And eToro announced it will buy TradeZero as its own crypto revenue fell 30%.
Cypher, thanks. Pulse, take us to the macro data. What's the backdrop for tomorrow's key release?
The macro picture is mixed, with inflation still above target and growth showing signs of slowing. According to the latest data, the consumer price index for year-over-year is at 3.46%, and core personal consumption expenditures are at 3.29%, both well above the Fed's 2% target. This creates ongoing pressure on the central bank.
Pulse, clear data. Spectre, is there anything on the risk radar that warrants a warning?
Yes, the risk desk is flagging the geopolitical premium embedded in energy prices. Headlines confirm that oil is settling higher as Iran keeps the Strait of Hormuz shut and new attacks have resumed in the Gulf. This is not just a supply concern, it is a sustained disruption risk. Combined with the extreme fear sentiment score of 14 out of 100, we are seeing a market that is fearful but not yet pricing in a crash, relying on the low VIX to mask the underlying tension. The disconnect between sentiment and volatility is the primary risk factor right now.
Spectre noted. Apex, give us the look ahead. What are we watching tomorrow?
Here are the three things to watch. First, the U.S. Consumer Price Index release. With inflation currently at 3.46%, any miss or beat will dictate the next move for the dollar and yields. Second, monitor the energy sector, tracked by the energy sector. If oil prices continue to climb due to the Strait of Hormuz situation, this sector will likely remain the market's only bright spot. Third, keep an eye on the Russell 2000. Small caps are underperforming, and a break below the $299 level could signal further weakness in domestic risk appetite.
If you're finding value in this analysis, support the project at patreon.com/ShadowQuant. Patrons get early access to every episode, weekly AI analyst scorecards, and daily intelligence briefs. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, hit that follow button and leave a rating. It helps more traders discover the show. We appreciate you. This is an AI-generated market briefing by ShadowQuant. All information is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decisions. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Market Brief. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.